Sing. What's love got to do with it, girl? What's love? It should be about us. It's about trust, babe.
As we've already done the Rhythm IQ rankings for my top 5 rappers beginning with the letter A and beginning with the letter B, I figured we go ahead and play catch up. So today is going to be my top 5 R&B artists starting with the letter A.
Oh shit, here we go again.
As usual, I always give out my honorable mentions, starting with Avery Wilson. I just think he's the dopest male vocalist doing it at all today. Aretha Franklin, I know it's going to catch a lot of, oh my God, Aretha. To be honest, I didn't grow up on Aretha like that. I know of the legend. I know of the greatness. I know of the music. Just not in my top 5. And then close it out with Anthony Hamilton. Dope, but not in my top 5. Now, I know after the honorable mentions, number 5 is probably going to go crazy after I sat out Aretha Franklin. And then my number 5 is going to be Ashanti.
What?
But it's really just how I've listened to Ashanti. Of course, I grew up in the Ashanti era. I didn't grow up in the Aretha era. We all know Aretha is legendary, leagues beyond Ashanti. But in my personal top 5, I'm probably going to turn on some Murder Inc. You know, some of her iconic hooks, you know, her on Southside before I put on Aretha. And again, there's no slight to Aretha. Again, one of the GOATs, just not in my top 5, but we got Ashanti at 5.
Your stare, those eyes are. Love the way you look at me. Your lips, your smile. Love the way you kiss me. Those hips.
So at 4, technically I have a pop star, but in the realm of just being a phenomenal vocalist, a phenomenal singer, a phenomenal balladeer, I got Adele. Again, like I said, most people would acknowledge her as a pop star. Rolling in the Deep was one of the biggest pop songs when it came out. But all her songs have that R&B undertone. And then when she decides to just sit and sing ballads, it's not too many people that's going to sing next to her and just vocally outperform Adele. I'm going to keep her here at 4. I do understand maybe a pop star, but Adele is one of the ones. Keep her at 4. So at number 3, I feel like this one's going to be a really underrated pick because he has such an underrated catalog to the point where people don't even realize how great this artist is until they sit down and go, damn, that is him, that is him, that is him. And that's Avant. Avant's catalog alone should have him catapulted into the highest of ranks of R&B. But again, he's just one of those artists that kind of fell to the side a little bit, and you kind of forget the impact he's had on R&B. Songs like Making Good Love, Separated, even when he jumped into hip hop with Bedroom Boom, he's impacted every era of R&B that he's been a part of. Avant's dope, Avant's fire. Avant will take a lot of people out in the verses, but verses ain't really a thing no more. Avant at 3.
Baby, I breathe every single breath for you.
At number 2, I have the R&B princess, Aaliyah. So a lot of people, she's number 1. Just barely missed that cut for me personally. But Aaliyah just goes without explanation. When she was here, thriving, and just putting out phenomenal music, it wasn't too many people that can go hit for her, with her in her era. And even taking her from her era to now, her hits are still standing the test of time. She can sit next to a lot of people in the versus battle as well, even with a catalog that didn't get to be as extensive as it could have been. Easily the R&B princess on this list at number 2.
It's a beautiful song. It's a sexy song. We're going to talk backstage.
Now, I know most people immediately went, if Aaliyah's number 2, who's number 1? And again, this will always be a preferential thing. This is my preference. But I got Alicia Keys at number 1. And most people will kind of go really Alicia, but then when you sit back and think about her first 3 album run, Songs in A Minor, Diary of Alicia Keys, As I Am, and then even Elements of Freedom was fire. Alicia Keys has always been a powerhouse when she decides to drop. She doesn't drop as much. Even her albums that went under the radar were really good. It's just, it was past the time for checking for Alicia Keys. If you go back, I know I mentioned Versus twice already in this video, but go back to her Versus battle with John Legend. Amazing. You start to realize her catalog is really heavy. Alicia Keys can go to war with anyone, whether you want to believe it or not. Alicia Keys at one.